Welcome to This Is the Chisme, where the tea is hot, the takes are hotter, and the galaxy is just a little bit messy. I'm Adrian Reese, and I'm here with my wife, Stefani, and we started a podcast. How did I talk you into doing a Star Wars podcast?
I don't even know, dude. I just said yes.
Well,
Also feel bad because you always want to talk about Star Wars and you have no one to talk to but me.
well, I think we have really good conversations, so I think that's the main driver for me.
I don't know. We're gonna see because I feel like it's mostly you saying things, and then maybe a dabble of me. But I don't know. We'll see after this list because I realized that I've actually seen a majority of these.
Yeah, and you read a bunch. We have lots to talk about.
I think I know a lot of things.
Yeah, I think you're more than the average Star Wars fan. Let's start today with what we're drinking for tea.
It's called Peach Bellini.
Peach Bellini. Where do we get it? Do we get it anywhere fancy?
It was a Renaissance fair. I'm pretty sure we're not even supposed to drink this anymore.
Oh, snap. And we're drinking out of our Star Wars Celebration teacups.
Yeah.
So,
from 2023.
Yeah, the London one. So, and then if you see us drinking for some, what's the tea on the thumbs down for London?
Dude, London fucking sucked.
Why didn't you like it?
One, people were not nice. Two, we encountered some racism. Three, the venue was so small that there was only two pathways of walking, and I've never felt like sardines like in SpongeBob, where it's just all these fish all stuck in one area. Yeah, it was not fun.
Yeah, Anaheim better.
Anaheim was definitely better, and that's the one that we started with.
Yeah,
and it sucks.
Tokyo was pretty good too.
Tokyo was pretty good.
Yeah, we'll probably have an episode where we kind of talk about our experience at Celebration. But let's talk about first. I mean, this is our episode 0, so this is a lot of people getting to know us. So, what is you want to talk about where you get started in Star Wars? I don't think we even talked about that. What was your first Star Wars you watched?
I think the first Star Wars I watched is episode 3. And that's me watching it with my dad. And I distinctly remember I remember watching it in theaters, but the scene that I remember watching it at the movies is when he's like, Anakin, you were supposed to be the chosen one. And then he's just crawling out. And I was like, damn. I remember being at the Cinemark at Tinseltown in El Paso. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was really late, but I don't know if it was just me and my dad or if it was me and the family, but I think it was just me and Michael. Yeah.
Yeah. And then how do we get from that to you letting me talk you into a Star Wars wedding?
I don't know. Oh, Star Wars wedding. I don't know. It's weird because I feel like I didn't really get into Star Wars until maybe after college, once I was really done with college and put more effort, but maybe that's a lie because I don't really remember much. But I definitely wanted my wedding to be different. I think wedding themes are fun. And you just love Star Wars so much, and you really wanted a wedding. I don't think I really cared to have a wedding. I think at that point I just wanted to finish school. But also we had already been married for a while that I just didn't care about the ceremony. And I know you cared about the ceremony more.
Yeah, I wanted a party.
You wanted a party.
Yeah.
And I knew the best way to give you that, and I love you and I wanted you to have, I mean, it's a once in a lifetime, right? For both of us, and I wanted to give that to you.
What was it like to have Darth Vader walk you down the aisle?
Pretty fucking dope because no one else has that. So
yeah, it's pretty good. For me, I think I've always been a Star. I can't remember.
Wait, hold on, pause.
Okay, yeah.
Can we talk about how Darth Vader walked me down the aisle, and I'm freaking out in the background, and my dad's holding my hand. He's like, "It's okay, baby. It's okay, baby." I was like, "Yeah, but I'm really nervous," and it made me even more nervous because I had Darth Vader behind us, and I was just like, "Oh, why did I do this to myself?"
Yeah, and this is also Darth Vader and a bunch of stormtroopers from the 501st Legion, by the way. So it was we had official people at our wedding. I think the last time they did weddings might have been because of us, because we requested them to do it, and then they came. We fed them.
We fed them. We also donated money. We're we'll put all the money that we get and some to charity.
Yeah. Shout out Latrell, my boy.
Yeah.
who organized that for us. Yeah, and then for me, I mean, I've always been, I don't think I can't remember a time where I haven't been a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, but where did it start though?
Probably like the VHSs at my grandma's house.
Oh, so you watched it at your grandma's house.
Maybe at my grandma's house. I mean, I that's like I always remember
Like what
those.
you remember.
Yeah, I remember like those VHSs being there, and then I've just always like been into it. I played a lot of Star Wars Galaxies when I was younger. It's my first MMO, is Star Wars Galaxies.
And you asked for that, or
Uncle BJ got me into
your
it.
uncle BJ?
Yeah,
That's
because
what I figured. I was like, I feel like it might
yeah,
have been your uncle.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I think that started me in Star Wars,
Yeah.
but my carry over into like really getting involved in this franchise was Star Wars Galaxy. You had to like be your own person. You
Yeah.
had to do all these things, and it really like made me want to learn more about the universe outside of just what is Darth Vader and all them doing. So I've always thought about Star Wars as more than just Darth Vader because
Yeah.
I've been a character running around with Darth Vader there
Mm.
since like 2000.
And see,
You know,
I didn't know that until I met you. Like, I really like dove into Star Wars was because of you. Because we have to remember that my dad is a Trekkie. You
yeah, he's
know,
a
he's
Trekkie,
a
yeah,
Star Trek fan. Like, that's what I remember that more. I
yeah.
remember picking out a VHS and being like, "This is what we're watching," that kind of thing. And he still has them,
Hmm.
but I think I might have watched Star Wars movies like once, and
Yeah.
that was when we went into the theater. I don't I don't think we even owned the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, your dad was definitely like live long and prosper at the Star Wars wedding.
And
He's definitely that guy.
and I have it on my back. So yeah, I'm committed.
Yeah. I think with that, like that said, what kind of Star Wars fans do you think we are?
Well, I feel like you're the uh let's check fact check, let's fact check and ask Adrian because he's like our Wikipedia.
Ah,
I
okay.
feel like you're that fan. You're the one that if we're gonna fact check something, we would ask you.
Hmm. What about
Yeah.
you? What kind of fan do you think you are? I can tell you what kind of fan I think you are.
I think
True.
I
Also, you might get lots of barking, and that's just how it's going to be
yeah,
because
that's true.
we got dogs.
Uh Honestly, I see myself as a oh yeah, I like Star Wars
Yeah.
and
I'm going to
I
put
don't
up
know.
pictures here of all of your Star Wars cosplays.
But like I I maybe I'm downplaying it. I see myself like the Pinterest like bored of like, oh yeah, I like Star Wars. It's like a R2D2 shirt with a tutu skirt. I don't know. That's how I see myself. I don't think I'm like, and I think
There's
it's
a
because
picture
I'm
of you
comparing.
meeting Carl Weathers in a L cosplay at
I
Star
think
Wars
I
Celebration,
think
by the
it's
way.
because I'm comparing myself because I'm around you, and you know, you're like you're like my this is gonna sound so dumb as I'm saying this. You're like my Palpatine.
Why am I your Palpatine? That's crazy.
Because you're the one that's showing me the dark side of everything. You're showing me all the ins and outs of like of
You
Star
can't call me
Wars.
like
Puppets,
Kanan or Ahsoka. You can't call me nobody but like the worst person in the
because he
galaxy.
knows both ends, dude. He's the mastermind of everything.
You can call
He
me like
knows everything.
Ventress or
What do you want to be called?
I don't know, man. Palpatine's a bad person
Why?
because he is.
Why is he on our fucking wall then?
Because he's old and we had to meet him. He
Well,
didn't.
I'm
He
just saying
didn't
like
talk to us at
I'm
all.
saying like Palpatine because he's the one that like he's like the first master that comes in mind that like knows many things and knowledge.
Mm,
And that's why I'm saying like you're my Palpatine in the sense of like you're guiding me through all the good side, right? But you're also guiding me through all the books, the comic books, the video games, everything
mm.
else that there is more to Star Wars. And boy, I see you going into the trash. No, thank you. Go lay down.
It's also, so if you're listening and didn't see that, that's Gandalf. She's yelling at. We have two beautiful dogs, Deku and Gandalf, and we didn't put them away because we just wanted them to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. That definitely makes
Yeah.
sense. And I think for me, I see you definitely more than just a casual fan. All Star Wars fans are like equal, blah 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 blah. But like some of us know more than like other people, right? Some people are more ingrained in the universe. Some of us like know more than just the movies, and I think that you've been in that camp for a very long time,
Yeah.
which will probably be reflective in our topic today,
Yeah.
which is ranking everything that's on Disney Plus right now in terms of Star Wars stories. We're leaving out things like the documentaries, like the fly-throughs, the blip, like all of like the sensory stuff that they have. But looking at 30 Star Wars stories that I've kind of like put them in different categories. So clumping things together like Clone Wars, the Tales series, the Vintage Collection minus the Clone Wars 2003. So lots of things to get through. And Stefani wanted to start from the bottom. So that's what we're going to do.
No, we don't have to start
Nope,
from the
we're already
bottom.
doing it. We're already
Okay.
doing it. It's already in the notes. It's already in the notes. So we're gonna work
Okay.
our way from the bottom. We have 3 clear tiers here. 1 through 10, I would say is probably like our favorites. 11 through 20, still pretty good, and then 21 through 30. Personally, like to preface this straight out, I love all Star Wars. There's nothing that I don't like. Like there's things I don't like, but there's not things I don't love. Like I'll watch any Star Wars. I might skip through some stuff that I don't like, but every project I like here. You might not have that opinion, but I can find something I like in every project. So starting from the bottom, do you want to give your 21 through 30 or 30 through 21?
Oh, 30 through 21.
Okay, go for it.
The Vintage Collection. I did actually watch some of it. It was a little brutal for me. I was like, this did not age well. I'm so glad. Um, I'm so glad I didn't grow up in the 80s
Yeah.
and I don't watch cartoons like that. Um, no offense, but offense. Because
Yeah, I think
that Vintage Collection didn't age well.
yeah, it doesn't age well, and I think it sours a lot of like, especially Gen X and older fans of like, oh, Andor's the we're getting in, we're also recording this before we watch the finale of Andor because I'd rather do this than watch the finale of Andor right away. But for
Yeah.
me, I think everyone's so hooked on Andor being like this is super serious and blah 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 blah
Mm,
because a lot of people like started with the Vintage
yeah.
Collection after the thing or after the movies. The Vintage Collection actually isn't my 30th, mainly because there are things I think that are in it that get brought back into like the things for kind of like the meme purposes, and like really hardcore people will get those
Yeah.
things. So I don't have that one
I
at 30, but I have it at 29.
I have it at 30 because like I know because I know in the 80s they have good storytelling. I know media does have good storytelling in movies and cartoons
Hmm.
and it just was flat. It felt like money grabbing like yeah, we're just pumping out this show because we want to pump out toys.
Toys. Hmm.
And I can see that. And after watching like documentaries and like knowing some knowledge of that, I can definitely see that, especially because it happens a lot in the 80s. I can definitely see that in the Vintage Collection. So that's why I put it at 30 because I don't think it gives really good meat in Star Wars.
Yeah. I have my 30th is the Lego Star Wars shorts.
I, yeah,
Yeah, I feel like those are like I think those are kind
like
of
the Lego holiday one.
yeah,
Yeah,
and all like those small shorts. Again, these aren't bad, but I'm not gonna
no,
go rewatch them. You know, I'm
yeah.
not like diving into that.
I'm like, oh yeah, I want to put Lego
Yeah,
holidays on my
yeah.
background.
No, I have that more for just like fun. Like, oh, here's
Yeah.
a new short that like might be canon or might not be. Um, so obviously our 29 and 30 or 29 and 30 vintage collection and Lego.
And
What do you have at 28?
I have Lego holidays on there.
Yeah,
And then we had a Lego Rebuild the Galaxy.
yeah.
Okay,
That's a
yeah, yeah.
different one. That's a different
So
one.
30 I have Vintage Collection and then 29 I have Lego Holidays.
Okay, well, why don't you go 30 through 21, and then we'll just kind of like talk about our differences.
Okay, so for 28 I have Star Wars Resistance. 27 I have Forces of Destiny. 26 Return of the Jedi. 25 Empire Strikes Back. 24 A New Hope. 23 The Last Jedi. 22 Lego Rebuild the Galaxy. 21 The Phantom Menace.
Wow, like all the movies at the bottom. Do you want to talk about that first?
Yeah, because I think it's gonna piss off some people, and this is something that I've been like closeted about with Adrian, but I truly believe that the movies between I think 4, 5, and 6 are compared to like all of Star Wars. There's just so much more, and I just don't think the movies age well even now, and especially after having a remake, because I think 7, 8, 9 is just a remake. Well, at least 7
Mhm.
is a remake, but it's done well, so well that if you didn't know about these, 4, 5, and 6, you'd be okay because you still get the premise of that. But I put the movies at the bottom because of the way I feel it doesn't age well, and as a reference as like what did age well during that time. Not, I mean, a little bit before that. Uh, Back to the Future, recently watched it, and that still aged really well. The storyline and even like the visuals of it is still does really well, except for the second one because it's in 2015 and we're like 10 years like after that. That didn't age well, but I think this it's a good base, but I there's just way more better storytelling in my opinion.
Okay, now I'll say something nice about him.
They're the base. They're it's what kicks off, like sci-fi, right? Like there's nothing else like
Science fantasy, but yeah.
science fantasy, you know, and there's nothing really else like it at the time, and really, and still to today,
Yeah,
there's
if you
still.
say Dune, you go watch that first
Oh
Dune
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
tell me that's anything like the first
and,
Star
and you
Wars
can
movie in
tell
terms of
like,
quality.
yeah, you can tell like Star Wars is definitely different, just like as Star Trek is definitely different.
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, they're all different fantasies, and you can't get anything else like it. That's the whole reason why people what why people reference like Harry Potter is just Luke, because
Mhm.
it first the storyline first starts
Yeah.
there. It's, I don't know, what's the word? It's like your base of
It's
like,
like it's I mean it's a typical hero's journey.
yeah.
Yeah, the typical I think it enters into um like the universe, and I think this also might be something where the more you read and the more you have like more context for the
Mm,
original trilogy, maybe more you'll like, because I know like right now you've been really big into like the prequel era of like books and reading right now, but we haven't
yeah.
you haven't done a whole lot of like
And this might change, right? This might
yeah, I think
change,
that's like the
but
biggest thing
but
here.
it's definitely not one that I'm like, oh yeah, let me go rewatch it. I'll rewatch episode 3 over 1 through 6. 1
Hmm.
through 6, right? Yes.
Yeah,
No. Yeah. Um when it comes to like those movies.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just I think and maybe for me it's more of like, no, I want to say it's the visuals, but it's really not the visuals. I just don't, I don't know. You can
yeah.
just tell from the first episode 4, that they were they even sure what Luke and Leia were going to be?
No,
Yeah, and like
yeah,
you can kind of tell that like
yeah.
some of the like,
Him kissing her in the second one,
yeah, dude.
yeah, or her kissing him in the second one.
Yeah, and it's just like you can tell their story plot.
Yeah, George was
Or,
wilding out.
huh?
He's wilding out a little bit in some of the story.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of the continuity, I would say.
Yeah, but like now you can tell like, okay, there's a strict like, this is going to be the story and we're gonna end up here and this is how we're gonna end up. And you could tell like, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, but let's do this now.
Hmm.
And you just kind of see that. And I also don't like Leia and Han Solo's relationship.
Yeah,
I do not like it. Um
yeah. There's a reason why they're not together by the sequel trilogy.
I'm really glad that they made them like divorce
Yeah,
because
there's a. I mean,
it's not
and
good.
I think that this is another thing too, where I think you're just dabbling into the expanded universe, but there's like a lot of really good books that take place in that original trilogy time that I think make the movies better. Specifically, like the from a certain point of view where you get different perspectives of
Yeah.
what's going on. So, like the things that you're talking about, like where there's more than that. What is the guy thinking about that he? So, I think there's more to it that you might improve on it with more
But
context, but I don't know.
But if something's good, I don't need more. I don't need a book to tell me like, wait, 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 wait. I don't need what's it called, the DC guy who gives me 2 hours of a movie and he's like, actually, you need more context. Let me give you the full movie and it's 5 hours. Now you'll understand more.
Mhm.
It should have been good from the start. And it can. And I know it can. I know Star Wars has good quality content media because there is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're. Sorry. That makes sense. Yeah, I know. Just want to kind of like rush through this one because I think the top 20 ones are going to be a little bit more substantial. Again, like for me, these aren't bad. They're just not as strong, and
Yeah.
I'm not like as apt to like rewatch over basically everything else here. So at 30, Lego Star Wars shorts, 29, the Vintage Collection, 28, Forces of Destiny,
Mm.
um, 27, Lego Rebuild the Galaxy, 26, Young Jedi Adventures, 25, Star Wars Resistance, 24, The Book of Boba Fett, 23, The Kenobi Show, 22, Clone Wars 2003, and then 21. Really hard for me to like put this one in like 20. I kind of like flipped them back and forth. But the Tales series, so Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, Tales of the Underworld,
Mm.
um, I like those, but I want more.
Well, I mean,
They deserve more than like 15-minute stories, and I think because I can go consume more of that specific stuff, like in comics, because I don't mind reading a comic, I don't mind
mm-hmm.
reading a book, I don't mind. We're we're nerds, aren't we nerds? What's wrong with like reading and homework? What
Yeah, that's
happened? Like
true.
what's the problem with that? So I don't mind doing that stuff, but that stuff is great context for like filling in the gaps. So that's like my 21 through 30. I think for me, some of like the weaker ones here, that the Book of Boba Fett, I like,
Yeah,
but I can't get over the fact that for an episode and a half he wasn't even in it.
yeah,
It's like Mandalorian
yeah.
2.5. I don't like that. Um,
Yeah, the name should have been changed for
the
sure.
name should have been
After
changed.
we
Yeah,
finished it and the season was over, it should have definitely
yeah, called
been.
them like Bounty Hunters or
Yeah,
something. Kenobi show I think is fine for a lot of ways. I think I need to go back and rewatch it because I haven't rewatched it in a few months, but I don't like what it does to like Obi-Wan in terms of how much this dude has so many chances to kill this man and he doesn't do it. This dude does so much bad shit after the Kenobi show. He does so much bad shit after the Kenobi show, and that's on him. That's on him. And I know
oh,
that
you're saying for him like not killing
yeah, for
Darth Vader?
not doing something about it.
But you know what? He's like that even in the fucking books.
Yeah,
Even in, obviously, I just finished Dark Disciples today, and even in that one, dude, he's even like, "No, Anakin, don't." And Anakin's like, "Bro, Mace Windu told us to. Nobody is getting through this," and he's like, "No, Anakin." And I'm like,
yeah,
"Yo, you could have stopped a lot of things."
yeah. He takes his diplomat role a little bit too seriously. Yeah, I do like the little Leia stuff. I'm a big fan of the
Yeah,
Princess Leia Alderaan book. So all that stuff is good for me. Resistance, I think, is underrated, but still not as good as some of the other animation in Star Wars.
I do want to talk about Resistance. I did watch that for like a couple, I don't know, like 5, 6 episodes. Dude, that kid's a brat. I think I'm too much of an adult to watch it. He's very teenager, does not want to listen.
Hmm.
But then I'm like, well, some of these other characters are also like that too. And why is it not well suited in this character? But also, they keep referencing Poe Dameron, right? Am I saying that
Hmm.
right? Um, but he's like not even in there. And it reminded me, you know what it reminded me of? Because they're doing racing, right?
Hmm.
It reminded me of Fast and Furious cartoon show where
That's
Vin
why I like it.
Diesel comes out
Yeah,
just every once in a while. That's what it felt like.
yeah, that's why I like it. It's really good.
Oh my
The
god.
racing is good. It's also like early Resistance stuff, like before.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good, like in between stuff. I think it's much better than people give it credit for.
Will I keep watching it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think
don't
it's worth a
know.
watch. I think it's
But
worth a
he's
watch.
still a brat.
What else do I have on here?
It is also cool that he's not force sensitive. Or at least I don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't
Yeah.
think so.
And
Yeah,
that's
he's just
kind
a
of
dude.
nice. That's like a refresher.
Yeah, he's just a dude.
Refreshing.
And I'll also like specify that like whiny teenage boys is all Star Wars. That's every boy in Star Wars is teenage and whiny. Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker,
Yeah.
um,
Obi-Wan. I'm just kidding.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, oh, definitely Obi-Wan. He a little
He's a
brat in
brat.
episode one, dude. He
He's
a little
a
brat.
brat.
Who else? Ezra, brat.
Ezra's also a brat.
They grow out of it. You gotta let him. You gotta wait till he grows out of it. You're on the arc.
Ugh.
What else here? Lego Rebuild the Galaxy was fine. I wanted them to go deeper with it. I thought they had like a really good opportunity to do some
Oh,
fun
for
stuff, and
sure.
it was just kind of like, oh, okay, we're just doing like another side story that like
Yeah.
doesn't. It's
It
fun.
had potential. It was fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but not my favorite. All right, so let's go to 11 through 20. So for me, this is solid Star Wars moments with like really that really hit. They're not always perfect, but definitely carry like the heart of the galaxy for me. So if we're talking about like the base, like a lot of these I think are like base level Star Wars, and this is kind of like deeper into them for me. So what's your 11 through 20? Or your 20 through 11?
Attack of the Clones. Solo movie, The Rise of the Skywalker, Book of Boba Fett, Andor at 16, Clone Wars, Young Jedi at 14, Obi-Wan, Revenge of the Sith, and The Force Awakens at 11.
I think the only one that we matched there was Attack of the Clones at 20.
Okay.
Yeah, I have Attack of the Clones at 20, Phantom Menace at 19, The Last Jedi at 18, The Rise of Skywalker 17, 16 A New Hope, 15 Solo, 14 Return of the Jedi, 13 The Clone Wars animated series, not the
Yeah.
2003 one, 12 Andor, 11 The Mandalorian.
No, I think mine, The Clone Wars, is the
2003?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, the 2003
Damn,
one.
that's crazy how I just did that and Adrian just you.
Yeah, I think for me, again, this is kind of getting into the part where I think that the franchise is bigger than the movies
Mhm.
and has been bigger than the movies. So when I
Mhm.
was doing my list, I was like, what would I rather watch? What hits me harder? And while I like Attack of the Clones, while I like Phantom Menace, while I like things about The Last Jedi, while I like things about The Rise of Skywalker, I still think that there are like better Star Wars stories being told. And the things that I don't like a lot about some of these movies are things that are keeps it out of like my top 10 for me.
Yeah.
Like Attack of the Clones, clunky dialogue, Phantom Menace, a little long, I think, for
It is.
little
It
long.
is
It's hard. It's tough.
long.
It doesn't age as well as you think it does, I don't think. I mean, we saw it in theaters a couple months ago, right, for like the anniversary thing.
Yeah, but this was also like coming from being jet lagged and I
Mhm.
fell asleep.
The Last Jedi. I think we're gonna have like a whole episode on The Last Jedi. I think because I really don't like that movie. I want to
Where
love it.
did I put The Last Jedi?
I would at 18.
Where did I put it?
You said it.
I did say it. Hold on, let me put my glasses on. Where did I put it? Oh, I ranked it at 23. So lower.
Oh, yeah, it really low. Yeah, I don't like.
It didn't do well. It's so and this
I mean,
is
it
the
did
thing.
great.
My
People
my
love The Last
my
Jedi.
memory, The Last Jedi is 8, right?
8.
Yeah, my memory's shit, right? But when something's like not good, I really remember why it's
Yeah.
not good.
Why didn't you like it?
I think the story was flat, and I think the whole like Leia like being out in space and being like that scene was just like I feel like this could have been done better, and then the Rose and Finn situation was so forced and weird, and then we had kids who were force sensitive, and then we did nothing with that. But the only reason I kind of like it is because we have Outlaws the video game, and like I feel like we have that reference, or at least I have that reference as to like Cantu, right?
No. Well,
No?
yeah, for Canto Bite, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cool. Canto Bite's
Which is
cooler.
kind of cool. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
we get the sneak peek, but we probably did we get that sneak peek in Solo?
No, I don't think
No, right?
you don't
But
go to
like we
Canto Bite and
could
Solo.
have, we could have gotten that sneak peek through Solo. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
me, The Last Jedi fails Finn and Poe
it
first and
does.
foremost.
It
From
does.
like the start of the movie, both of those characters are failed to prop up Reylo, which I'm not
Yeah.
a huge fan of. I like the Luke Skywalker stuff. I'm good with the Rey stuff.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Snoke getting cut in half.
Yeah.
I just never. I think this is the start of Reylo, personally,
And it
and I
should
hate
have
it.
never.
I
It should
hate
have
it.
never
I hate.
happened.
Should never happen. I
Because
don't.
it's the same issue that I have with Han Solo and Leia.
Yeah.
That relationship is.
I'd say I would argue that it's worse because
No, yeah,
that
it is
starts off with him torturing her,
No,
trying to kill
it
her.
is definitely worse. It is 100% worse, and it feels for me like we're advocating this kind of behavior, and that's not okay.
Yeah, as long as you're
And it's the
really.
same with like, which obviously I'm sure we'll have a episode on this of like Padme and Anakin slash Darth Vader. You know, he fucking chokes her while she's pregnant. That's not okay.
It's not a good relationship. We're like not a good
It's not a
representation of
what a
relationships
good
in that
relationship
movie.
is
I
supposed to
don't
be.
like, and more for me. Like I
And I
really.
also don't like the sorry, I'm sorry, I'm
You're
sorry.
okay.
I don't like the how they made him to be shirtless so you would understand as a viewer that she could see him. Why do we have to do that? We didn't have to do
why
that.
he's shirtless? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I really do like Adam Driver, but keep your shirt on.
Yeah, I just don't like. I don't like the movie for like a lot of reasons, but I think I'll save it for a bigger thing. But again, for me, you sideline Finn
Mm,
to do nothing with Rose, who he clearly has like no chemistry with, doesn't want to be with after setting him up after like the last movie to be
yeah,
something more. Poe Dameron gets reduced to someone who just disobeys orders and just like isn't talked to, despite
yeah,
like literally saving them at the start of the movie. Um, Holdo's characterization makes zero sense based on like her Princess Leia of Alderaan characterization. Granted, like she was a kid then, but like it's really clear to me, and y'all can hate me for this, but like Ryan Johnson didn't focus on any other Star Wars, right? He had no context for any stories for the other characters, didn't feel like. So he kind of just did whatever he wanted, which is at the sacrifice of Finn's character, Poe's character, and
yeah,
arguably even Leia's character because she gives up at the
yeah.
end of the movie.
She does.
No one talks about this, but she literally gives up. Leia, the
Yeah,
person who was shot out of a thing and then force grabbed her way
yeah,
to safety, which is fine with me because she's done plenty of force
yeah,
stuff. She's been trained by Luke. I
yeah,
want her to be
yeah,
able to do that, but have her give up at the end just so Luke can. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm getting.
Anyways,
It's getting away from me. Getting
yeah,
away from me.
that can be a different episode.
The Rise of Skywalker, I think, suffers because of The Last Jedi, so I give it a little bit of pass there. And
Yeah.
also, like the hug at the end of Rise of Skywalker is one of my favorite moments of all Star Wars.
Oh
Period.
yeah,
Like
it's
so,
cute.
A New Hope for a lot of the reasons you said. I think even if it is even if it's like a not even like a rehash, I think calling it a rehash is reductive, and they probably heard that from like Star Wars Theory or something. But like A New Hope is good, but it's slow.
Yeah,
Luke's super whiny.
yeah.
He's a Mary Sue in a way that like Ray never is. So it's just not like
A New Hope is 4.
four.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good movie, but if I want to watch the same thing but better,
Yeah.
I'm
If I want to
gonna
watch
watch.
like the new generation,
Yeah, then I'm
I'd
going
rather
to
watch.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Solo, I really like.
I really like that
I
movie,
really, really
dude.
like Solo, especially for someone who likes the expanded universe. I think it's like a great love letter to them.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought it was really good.
the Clone Wars, I love the Clone Wars, but I think that there's other animation that are better. So that's why I kind of keep it a little bit lower. We're gonna go beep. Hey, sir, you're gonna go in your crate if you can't be quiet. Sir,
Deku. Oh my
come on.
God. Okay, so
Yeah, and then I just wanted to like for Andor, like why I have
mm,
Andor at 12. People are gonna hate that I have Andor at 12,
I
but
have
like,
Andor at 16.
yeah, Rogue
Yeah,
One exists. If I want to watch like that story, I'll just go
yeah,
watch Rogue One. Especially, I mean, we haven't seen the finale of
because
this
we're
one yet,
literally
but
recording.
for the first 3 episodes of season 2, Andor's barely in it. I don't like Luthen as a character. I hate how much he's propped up.
And I hate when
Um,
people are like, he's a coach. What do you expect? No, dude.
he's an
No.
asshole.
What about fucking
We have plenty of coaches in this universe. Plenty of
plenty,
coaches in
and
this
they're
universe who don't do
very
what he does.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Ugh.
he's annoying. I don't like him.
Yeah.
It's done very well. It's shot very well. It's
Yeah.
acted very well. All of those things, but there's not enough aliens in it. I hate that there's no aliens in it. They're just
It's weird.
background characters. It's super weird. I don't like the French, German, human people.
I
Like I
don't like
don't
that.
want.
It doesn't sit well with
Doesn't sit
me.
well with me.
And I don't know if they
It
did.
feels weak. It feels like a weak move.
It almost feels like they're trying to. They did that on purpose so we can have like a close relationship of understanding like real world what's
Yeah.
happening right now. But it's like,
You need humans for that.
well, apparently some fucking people do.
You need humans for that. It's
Well, I
crazy to
mean,
me.
I'm just saying, like right
Yeah.
now, like it seems like you have to be in a that specific situation for you to have sympathy,
Yeah.
and it sucks that we have to stoop that low. And if the case is that's the reason why they did it, but we don't need more humans, dude. A lot of our main characters are humans.
Yeah.
We don't need any more.
Yeah, not that we don't need any more. Like you just have to have some, dude. You have to have some. Like there's
And then
literally no
dude, that
alien main
one
characters.
alien with the gold tip
Yeah.
horns. I want to cosplay as that person, and that's my problem.
And then The Mandalorian. I love The Mandalorian. It was really hard for me to put Mandalorian at 11 and not have it in my top
Yeah,
10.
that's crazy.
But I think mainly because I have other things that give me like the Mando vibes in other places, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a hard 11 for me. Like a very hard 11 because I like what's above it so much that
Yeah.
it's hard for me not to have it higher. Like I can't think of anything that I would switch out for it. But I love Mandalorian. I think it's a great entry point for people. Like I love Mandalorian because it's good for other people to watch it to get into Star Wars. It's a good entry point.
Yeah,
Like
no,
the
it
way
really is.
like A New Hope
Anything
is a great entry point. I think The Mandalorian is a
is
great
a
entry point.
very, very
But it shows you what other stuff you can go look at that are
yeah.
more fun, I think.
And you're saying okay, so you have Mandalorian on there
Yeah, at 11.
at 11.
Mhm.
Okay, I have Book of Boba Fett during this like batch of
Yeah,
lists.
I mind them lower.
Yeah, I know you had yours lower, but I think the Book of Boba Fett was very interesting, especially for like um for folks who love 4, 5, and 6. You know, you get some insight of like that area more
Yeah.
so. But I do think that it fell through in some areas, obviously, that we already talked about.
Yeah.
Like the title should have been changed because 2.5 episodes.
Yeah. Well, 1.5.
1.5
It's too
episodes.
many. Too
Yeah,
much time where he's not
too
even
much.
in the thing.
And it also makes me sad because like this could have been his moment, and we
And we've
didn't
seen him at
get.
Celebration, dude, and he goes
He
hard. He goes
he
crazy.
loves it.
He
He
loves
deserves
Star
it.
Wars
He
so
deserves
much.
to have a whole
Yeah.
season to himself.
And I think that the first half of the season really does that,
It
dude. You
does.
get Tusken Raider stuff. You get
Yeah.
Pike stuff, which
Yeah.
can lead into like
But
other.
then they do our boy, our blue man guy, wrong.
Oh yeah, he's kind of wasted a little bit.
Yes.
But also like it's fine. I don't mind Cat Bane getting shot.
Mm.
I'm good with Cat Bane getting shot.
But
I wish it was somebody else. Could have had someone else come in. Like, I don't know, other bounty hunters that Boba knew during his time going up.
yeah.
Okay, well let's talk about our top 10. I think it's going to take like the most of our time. Let's do
One by
10
one.
through 6, and then we'll do our top 5.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Do I talk first?
Do I talk first? You talk first. That line is so baller, dude. I loved him from that moment. Like this dude, I talk first, you talk first. To fucking Kylo Ren, dude. Ugh, I love him. So wasted in the Last Jedi. It makes me
I
so
wish there
angry.
was some more stuff.
Yeah, there's comics. There's comics.
No, I
Where
want
he's
the
born next
real
to a
him.
force tree,
I
and
want
his
him.
parents are amazing.
I want the real him.
Okay, cool.
10?
10.
Rogue One.
Well, 10 through 6. And we'll talk about 10 through 6, and then 5 through 1.
10, I have Rogue One. 9, Visions. 8, Skeleton Crew. 7, Bad Batch. And 6, Tells of blah blah blah.
Tells it. Okay.
Mm.
What'd you have at 10?
Rogue One.
Interesting.
It's still a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good standalone movie.
Yeah, I don't think we have any match from there.
Yeah, it's a really good standalone movie. People
Yeah, tell me
very
about your 10. Or yeah, just go 10 through 6 and just tell me about what you like, what you don't like.
yeah, Rogue One. It's just really good. It's very well. I probably don't even have to watch any Star Wars to even know anything about it. And I think it's a good. Once again, back to my point. If something's really good, it doesn't need more background on it. If you add more background on it, that's fantastic. But I should be able to watch something with all of that.
Yeah.
Then at 9, I have Visions, and the only reason I have 9 Visions at 9, it's because season 1 does a really good job, and obviously they did that in Japan, or like the studios are in Japan. But I feel like season 2 didn't grab me as good as season 1. But it seems like season 3 might grab me again just because we're getting more storyline to some of the season 1 episodes. And I think they know that, and that's why they're bringing it back. I think the animation style is definitely true to anime. I think the storylines of season 1 of Visions is so good that we get that insight of Star Wars different world and different perspectives. And that is why I've like cosplayed so many But it's definitely not my number one because there's definitely better storytelling because it's only maybe 20 minutes, 30
Mhm.
minutes of story. And that's all we get. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you want to share your
Yeah.
first two?
Let me pull back up. Yeah, at 10 I have Ahsoka. At 10. Um
Interesting.
I have Ahsoka.
I didn't look. I was like, did I? But that's okay.
Yeah, I have Ahsoka at 10 mainly because I think it's good because of all the context I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have so much context for it, and it's like for the people who like been there.
Yeah.
It's people who like
It's for the
love
people.
Rebels, who
Yeah.
love Ahsoka, who
Yeah.
have been here on the ride.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend that one to be like, oh, that's your first one. No, hell no, dude.
No,
The
dude.
first 30 minutes of it is like Ahsoka like doing nothing, no talking, and you're
Yeah.
just watching, right? But if you know Ahsoka,
You're just like,
yeah,
yes.
right.
Yeah.
So I have that one at 10. Not because I don't love it. I'm sure I'm gonna love season two. Season two is gonna be so good. Season two is gonna be
I
so
love
good.
that we just got that. What do you call
Oh,
it?
like a little sizzle
The
reel.
sizzle reel.
Yeah, from
I
Filoni
was
at
like,
a
play it again,
celebration.
play it again.
Yeah, so that's what I have at 10. At 9, I have Skeleton Crew.
Okay.
Love Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
I love Skeleton Crew. People who are like, say, oh, it's just a kid's show.
Oh
It's just
no, it's definitely not. We saw the freaking
yeah. We saw
skins
people skinned. We saw
and
people
not even
child
strippers,
war,
escorts.
escorts, red light districts. All
That guy was
it was.
evil.
It wasn't just a kids show.
No.
It just had kids in it, which is
Yeah.
I don't know if like people forgot that like
Homegirl
kids
almost
exist.
died.
Yeah, I don't know if like people like remember like kids exist in this franchise, but like just because there's kids in it doesn't make it any like Star Wars had child soldiers.
They did.
We see child like
They
people.
did.
Finn is a literal child soldier.
Yeah.
Ahsoka is a literal child soldier. Like these
Yeah.
are things that have been in there, and I think because it was marketed as like the Goonies, people thought that's all they saw, but they don't see like how much of the story is like grounded in like the way Andor is grounded in real life situations and like what could happen, and also another look at the galaxy of stuff we have no idea about,
Oh
zero idea about.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
treasury thing is gonna change the fucking
Yeah.
game. Like that thing is crazy. I love Jod. I love that they didn't make him good. Like
Mm.
it's good Star Wars storytelling that no one expected, no one asked
No.
for, and it was baller.
And it's funny because like when we saw the announcement for it, I really had no idea what this was going to be about. All we knew was that it was going to be for kids,
Yeah,
and I was like, ooh, I don't know about this
yeah. But one of them
because
is an alien. One of them has augments.
yeah,
One of them is brown. It's just like a diverse show too. Like
no, yeah, I agree.
everything I don't like about Andor as like a new show, I think Skeleton Crew gives me. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, okay,
Because there's like political stuff there. There's
there
like
is.
some heavy conversations. There's action. There's humor.
Mm,
Um,
except for some of the heavy conversations were
what do you
the
mean?
one where like, oh, just with
I don't- The elephant?
the
Yeah.
episode of him.
What about it?
I thought we disagreed how he like handled that conversation.
Oh, with homegirl. Yeah, fuck him, dude. He's such an asshole for that
I
scene.
was like,
Yeah, he's such an asshole. He's such a privileged little shit. He's
yeah,
such a privileged little shit, and like we don't even know what happened to her.
she's probably dead,
We don't
dude.
even know what happened to her.
She's
You know,
probably
so
dead.
upset. I hated that scene. I hate how everyone's just like, "Oh, Neil is like, we need to be
I'm
more
like,
like
did
Neil."
we?
I don't like that because everyone loved it because like Neil's like, "Oh, if I imagine you tell some kid in any war torn country or anyone at war like, I would just stop fighting. I would just say sorry,
Oh,
bruh. Come on, dude.
I
It's
didn't. I didn't think about that.
if he isn't a cute little elephant, you take him. And if the thing is like, hey, Star Wars reflects our real life. Take that little kid from America,
Mm,
place him in any country where like bad things are going on, and then have him tell another kid, just say sorry.
yeah,
We're having a conversation with that kid, like, hey, look, you
this is
have some
what's happening.
privilege. This is stuff's going on. You can't
Yeah,
just
you can't just
yeah,
be.
you can't say
You
that.
can't say
You
that.
can't say that.
But he did. But anyways, yeah. Okay,
What do you have
so
at 8?
10, 9, 8. I have Skeleton Crew.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, we don't really have to dabble too much on that one, but
Yeah.
I do like the first couple of seconds. You're like, introduced to what's the main character?
I mean, they're all the main character.
Well,
Wim,
the curly
little
hair.
boy. Yeah, Wim.
Yeah, Wim.
Yeah,
He's like eating cereal, and his dad's like, "Here you go," and he just like puts a bunch of money, and it really sets the mood of like, yo,
yeah,
what are we getting ourselves into? Especially if you've already watched some Star Wars, right? You kind of know like an idea of how much credits are, and even if you don't, that's like a lot of gold on
yeah,
the table. And looking back at that, I'm just like, damn, we should have known then
yeah,
what was going on, but we didn't. Like that was such a like, yeah.
yeah. Suburban Star Wars.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love getting scenes of the kitchen and getting scenes of the lamps.
yeah. Oh, Swine loves lamps. You're probably gonna hear a lot about lamps. And
But it gives me a lot of like, yeah, I'm in Star Wars.
yeah, I have Revenge of the Sith at 8.
Okay.
That might just like be more a nostalgic pick for me because again, I remember watching that movie.
I'm just kidding.
Um, but like it's just good. It's just
Yeah,
so
no,
good,
no, no, yeah.
especially with all the context I have of like the Clone Wars going
Yeah,
into that,
yeah,
season 7 of the Clone Wars going into that.
yeah.
Great. Just all the books that we have that are like in between and during just make that movie so much better than it was like when I watched it, 20 years ago as a kid.
Mm,
Watching it now in the theaters, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Like that fall is tragic. Um, Padme and Anakin never wanted kids. They should have had an abortion. Um, that's all I'll say about that. We'll talk about that later. Number 7,
Bad Batch.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strips Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Oh, it's there somewhere. It's in Vegas right now.
So we're saying there's a chance. I'm just kidding. They're probably gonna come back.
Yeah, The Empire Strikes Back.
Really? Sorry, I have to like look at it because really? Okay, give me your
Yeah,
thoughts.
I
Give me
like
your
The Empire. I mean,
thoughts.
it's good. Like the opening on Hoth, Dagobah, Cloud City, even Han Solo doing something other than like Han Solo saving him. The stuff with Yoda on Dagobah, like going into and like realizing that be he can go be facing himself when he goes. Like, there's just so much thematically that I love about The Empire Strikes Back that it's the best of the original trilogy for me because it has like the best story. I'm talking about like a go in and
Okay,
watch like that
yeah.
story is
Yeah.
concrete.
Yeah.
We're a little bit of jump after A New Hope. You can jump into that one and like know exactly what's going on. Then you have the big reveal at the end about like Vader being the father, and if you didn't know that,
Yeah, that one is a good that is definitely a good base movie of like you want good story plot and plot
mhm,
twist. That one's definitely a good one.
yeah,
That makes you want to watch episode 1 through 3.
yeah. But I just don't like it as much as my number 6, which is The Force Awakens, which
Yes, I know. That is
I
your
love The Force
favorite.
Awakens.
You love.
I love Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Every second of that movie is great.
It's so good.
Every single movie is great
It
for me.
is.
I don't care if you call it a rehash because Ray's better than Luke in terms of like his how we get introduced to Luke is better than how we get introduced to Ray is better than how we get introduced to
Mm.
any other force sensitive character
Yeah.
in the
Have you
franchise.
ever seen anyone make bread how she makes bread? I think not. I just
She's a badass. They established
Woo!
that she's like a good fighter. They established that she's resourceful. They established like everything you need
I
in the
love
first like
her.
15 minutes. And if you're not with it, you probably just don't like women. And
Yeah.
you know,
It's
I
a
love Finn.
really good.
Finn is hilarious. You got a boyfriend? You got a cute boyfriend? I love it. Poe, fantastic. Even if like Finn and Poe got together, I don't mind that. If they're gay together, that would have been amazing.
It's so
Kylo
good.
was like strictly like a bad dude trying to be a good guy so bad, and
Oh,
I
and
think
I
that's such a
love that.
better. That's
I
such a
love
better.
that
Yeah.
so much. And obviously, like I love Kylo Ren, but I just love a character that struggles. He wants to be bad so bad.
Mhm.
He kind of reminds me of you in some ways, to be honest, because
I don't
you.
choke her, by the
No, he
way.
did no.
I don't
He's
torture her or
that's
do
a
anything Kylo Ren does.
hard no, hard no. Safety.
Safety check.
um, because he obviously is a good person. He was a good
Yeah.
person, and he's literally fighting for his fucking life to not be a good person. And I think It's so funny to me. It's like when I watch you, you're such a good person. If you've ever met Adrian, everyone says like Adrian's such a sweetheart. He's a giant teddy bear. He's
Not
such
if
a
you
nice
ask the
guy.
internet.
Yeah, not if you ask the internet. But like everyone loves Adrian and they say such nice things. I was like, little do you know that when he plays video games, he wants to be bad so bad. He wants to be mean so bad and he just cannot. He wants to and he's like, yeah, but he can't. And then I come in and then I just do the bad thing. But yeah, I just love a character. What other character struggles this hard? I don't know any
Yeah.
other character that struggles as hard as he does
No.
in any universe. Like I can't think of one. And
Yeah, I
that's
can't think of
and
one
that
either.
and that's refreshing to me. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it set the stage for like something really, really great that we just didn't get, in my opinion. But like,
Yeah.
I think it set the stage for a new trio
Yeah.
to really be great. And then my hope is just that like they come back and we get them back again in where they have like the main trio and we're there. What do you have at 5? Let's go top 5.
Ahsoka.
I have Rebels.
Interesting.
Mm.
Why did I put Ahsoka? Hold on, I have notes. Let's see. Did I put notes for this? No, I didn't put notes for this. Yeah, I think Ahsoka does really well. Um, hmm. I don't think there's anything bad that I don't like from Ahsoka.
Mm.
I think that's why it's ranked so high.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rewatch the episodes, and it's just good.
Yeah, good
And
Star
like
Wars.
good Star Wars, good story, good backstory. If you like want to go into the backstory, it definitely leaves you in the branches of, well, what's this about?
Yeah,
And
Sabine, Tarkin, Ezra, Mandalorians, Jedi,
the father, the
the
son,
father, the son.
and
Yeah,
that's the one that really gets me because no other Star Wars than other than like
the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars
Yeah,
talks about the father, the son, and the
yeah.
daughter.
I don't like everyone's
And
like,
I
oh,
don't get why.
the Andor's so good because it doesn't have the mystical stuff. Why are we here?
We're here for the
Why are we
mystical
here?
stuff.
I thought we were here for
You
like
really
the
want to
mystical
talk about
stuff.
we're not here for the mystical stuff? Dude, why was it that lady was like, you?
You what?
And
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that. I love it because I know that like it's going to be such an overlooked part of like the thing. Everyone is still going to say, you know, this is great because there's no Jedi in it. You're wrong. You've been wrong about. I don't want to
It's
say
not
you've been
about
wrong,
Jedi.
but like
It's not
it's
about
never been about the
Jedi.
Jedi. It's been about the
The
Force,
Force.
the things that connect us, the things that bind us.
Yes, and I think Ahsoka does a really good representation of grabbing different branches of Star Wars,
Yeah,
right?
the
And
Night
bringing them,
Sisters. Yeah,
and bringing it all together. Because if you want to know about the Night Sisters, and then what do we have from the Night Sisters? We also have Ventress. We also have more detail about like the witches. Then we also have Acolyte, right? If you want to go into Night Sisters and witches and all that kind of thing, we can also talk about the Jedi and like what's going on with the Jedi. And then
yeah, it sounds like homework. I thought you didn't like homework.
I didn't say that.
You said you didn't want to do extra work.
About what?
To like know about all the things you're saying is why I like Ahsoka because I know all of those things.
You need to chill out.
And you know all of those things. That's why you like it so much.
I like it because it branches you out to those stories, not because, oh, you need to. If you knew about this, then this makes more sense in this show. There's none of that.
Yeah, true.
There's more of like, whoa, 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 whoa. What is this other dimension that they're in?
Let me
What's
go
up
find
with
out.
that? Well, is there more to it? Yes, there is. There is more to it. So yeah, I think that's why Ahsoka's like
everything you said
there.
is why I have Rebels at 5.
Same.
Yeah, I have Rebels at 5 because all the things you said you get out of Rebels first. You get Ahsoka stuff, you get Mandalorian stuff, you get Jedi stuff, you get the Bendu, so you get stuff outside of like the Jedi. You get the Loth Wolves, you get the world between worlds, you get Palpatine, you get oppression on Lothal, you get aliens, you get everything, and best love story in Star Wars that never was. Oh no, is this the first cry of the podcast? No. Kane, you say, and then seeing like the finale at Star Wars Celebration just reminded me like how good this story is.
It is.
And how complete it was. And
it really was.
Yeah.
It's very few animations are that complete. Anyways.
Yeah, for Stefani watched Rebels, I think for the first time, like 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And she was like, "When are they gonna kiss? When are they gonna kiss? When are they gonna kiss?" And then they finally kissed, and she was like, "Ah!" And I was like,
I think I sobbed really hard for that one. I think you had to hold me
I
for
was like,
that one, dude.
"No, you're too attached. You're too attached."
What have I done?
Oh shit!
No, I think that one still hurts.
Yeah.
It still hurts. I'm still like teary eyed from that one. That one sucks.
Ugh, God, love Hera, love Kanan. Kanan, best Jedi in my opinion. 4, I have the Bad Batch. I love the Bad
I know
Batch.
you love the Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch is the best
Tell me why.
trilogy of story in Star Wars.
Okay.
From like season 1, 2, and 3, best complete story we have in all Star Wars. Better than the original trilogy, better than the sequel trilogy, better than the prequels. Better than
I think it does a really good job.
Better than any 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. You have a complete story of stuff that doesn't, all the stuff people love about like Andor. Again, like barely any Jedi in it. They're just people trying to live in the galaxy outside and to fighting the Empire's oppression.
Yeah.
You have senatorial stuff with Senator Chuchi, so you have all the things that like make these other live action shows great already in animation.
Yeah.
And then you have Omega, who's like one of the most pure hearted characters ever, who can look at Crosshair, who can look at Ventress, who can look at all these characters who've done like a lot of bad shit and be like, hey, you're only as good as your next choice. You can do better. You can be better. And of course, like the Bad Batch themselves as a crew are,
they're so diverse.
They're so diverse. They're so diverse. They're great characters. I'm doing a record cosplay. Like I just love the Bad Batch.
It does a really good job at showing like different types of representation. If you want representation or feel like you are included, even though it's not visually like that, but like per person, they are representing different people. If like if you feel like you're the black sheep of right now in your life, there is probably a fellow Bad Batch that represents you.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. Okay, top 3. What do you have for 3?
Oh, I didn't even say 4.
Say
what was your 4?
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch? Oh, okay. My 4 was Acolyte.
Okay.
Acolyte was really good. Definitely different, totally different storytelling of like what we've had so far, and giving me that history. I love that. I love the fact that we're getting history of a franchise. I can't think of any other franchise. Well, other than like Harry Potter, but those like 20 years, and like some of those characters are still in there. Obviously, like we have.
And George Lucas like isn't like a transphobe.
Spoiler alert: Yoda shows up in one of them, but you know that's the only character. But he's like old as fuck, dude. But it also tells you how old he is and how much shit he's seen. And he's like, God damn it, Anakin, you know?
Yeah.
But Acolyte was such a good drama, dude. Such a good drama.
Yeah. Manny.
I'm not gonna say that in front of you, but but also Homegirl too.
Oh yeah.
Everybody can get it.
Yeah. Amidala Stenberg. We love them.
It was just so good. Even the kids were good. Yeah. And then it tells you like the Jedi are like not that not great, you know?
Like, oh, how did we get here?
They're like, why are they ripping our children away? We're like trying to run away from. How the fuck did they find us? We don't want them to take our children.
And I think, I think for,
I mean, chosen ones too.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're chosen.
Well, not chosen ones, but like the way they're created.
Yeah, the way they're created, I think, is like interesting and not out of the realms of possibility, given the fact that the Night Sisters have been resurrecting the dead, and honestly,
we definitely
and
get
why,
that.
and then you even see like in like Asajj Ventress' story that Mother Talzin is like, you left us to protect us from like the Jedi, like you left us to protect us. Because they came, saw that she's force sensitive, and then she left, right? They took her from my sister. So in their mind, they took Ventress from her.
Yeah.
And I think that's very similar to what we see in the Acolyte.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm right there with you.
Dude, and that scene of Homeboy.
Which one? Oh, Master
the 30
Soul.
Seconds.
Yeah, the 30 seconds of him doing no acting.
Literally, no
some of the
voice
best
acting.
Yeah, some of the best acting from
He's
someone
such a great actor
who is just coming into the franchise. Like it's so good. What about 3? What do you have for 3?
I have the Clone Wars.
Like the 7th season.
Uh-huh.
Okay, talk to me.
Yeah, I think it's like it's weird because there's 7 seasons. There's so many episodes, right? And it's in between 2 and 3, right? Episode
Mhm.
2 and 3. And it's crazy. It's crazy how much happens between episode 2 and 3. Almost makes me feel like um when you watch The Last Airbender
Mhm.
and you realize that it was only a span of like a year and a half or something like that, and you're
Yeah.
just like, holy shit, a lot happened
Mhm.
within that timeline. But that's all, like, I feel like that's when you start to get Star Wars the way I like Star Wars. You know, we start
How
to
so?
get um different storylines, different worlds. Um yeah, we venture out of just the Luke and Leia storyline.
Mhm.
We start venturing out where we get to see the rest of the galaxy.
Mhm.
And I think Clone Wars is like the start of that
Yeah.
in some way.
Yeah, I think the Clone Wars is great. I have it lower on my list just because it's not it's the best episodes are great, but there are some ones I'm just like, ah, I could skip it. Compared to
Oh no,
like
yeah, yeah.
Rebels or The Bad Batch, I'm watching every single episode, no skips. So I think like that's why I might have it a little bit lower. But I definitely see
Mm,
what you're saying in terms of,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially those first 2 seasons. Those first 2 seasons get a lot of shit. Everyone says like
They
after the 3rd
do,
season
but
that, but the
they
first season, dude, I posted about it
yeah,
today. Like you have so much
I
stuff in
didn't.
that first.
Actually.
You have so much stuff in that first season that adds on to things that happen later on. That if you're not watching, you're like, why aren't you watching? Because you don't like the one episode of Jar Jar. That's like one episode in the first season. The first season also has Ventress. It also has Yoda chilling with the
I love
clones.
Ventress.
In the second season, you have Duchess Satine and Obi-Wan flirting a little bit. You have the Zillo Beast. You have so much stuff in those first two
Yeah, and I
seasons
think
that,
that's why I like the Clone Wars because it is the beginning of like really giving you some
yeah,
stuff.
it's
Can you give me more hot water?
it's Filoni's vision for, it's the most authentic like
Yeah,
of like what he wants before he kind of had to like start doing more
yeah,
Anakin stuff, which is fine. You get some Anakin stuff in there
yeah.
too, but all good there.
I really love Clone Wars, and that's why it's like top. I feel like representation of Star Wars. I feel like that is
Mm.
like up there.
Yeah, for 3 for me, I have Rogue One. I think it's the best movie of the movies.
Really?
Yeah, and this one I think just grew on me a lot. And for me, I didn't really like it the first time I watched it, mainly because they changed a bunch of stuff from the trailers. They had like a bunch of reshoots. This is what we got in the trailer. It's like the start of me not watching trailers was Rogue One. Um,
Interesting.
but I think the more, and this again is just because I love the universe,
Hmm.
and the Catalyst book before it is fantastic. The comic runs are good. We have Andor to add more context to Castian's
Yeah.
character specifically. So I think Rogue One is a great entry point into the franchise. Like if someone was like, "Hey, what movie do I watch first?" I would say
Really?
watch Rogue One before for movies. For movies, I would say watch Rogue One before watching A New Hope
Okay.
or
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Force
yeah.
Awakens.
Mm,
Um, Mainly because The Force Awakens is like on like a different side of the timeline. Like if we're trying to
yeah,
like
that's
the meat of
true.
Star Wars, I think watching Rogue
Yeah,
One,
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
watching Rogue One
Because
will
it
get you
is like
there.
the point, like, what is the point of Star Wars movies is to like defeat the evil
Yeah,
and get the plans, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So and I think in that it's a lot more kind of like one note in terms of like we're here to defeat the bad guys. Not a whole lot of room for like nuance outside of like
It's
what
like,
are the rebels like looking to do. I love Jen Urso's character, especially with like the context for Catalyst, or even things from like
or like what,
Forces of Destiny, where we see her.
or what does he say? The force is with me.
Oh yeah, 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 of course, yeah. And then you
And you're
have
just like,
again more things of non Jedi being attuned with the Force to show like, hey,
yeah.
dude, it's not all about the Jedi. And if you're making it all about the Jedi, you're looking at Star Wars wrong, in my
Yeah, because
opinion.
it's not, because in Acolyte we see that the force isn't just about the Jedi. The force is
Mm,
within everybody. Yeah.
everybody got it.
And everyone has different representation. And I think
Hmm.
in real life it also gives a good representation that everyone has a different religion. Everyone believes something different. You
Hmm.
don't need to force someone else like the
Yeah,
Jedi and the Acolyte. I'm just kidding.
yeah. Or the Empire who like blows up an entire
Yeah, yeah,
city of
yeah.
like Force people who in the High Republic era was filled with the convocation of the Force, which has like 9 different, or I think it's 9. I don't remember the exact number, but like multiple different Force sects who aren't just the Jedi in that. So like while we see Jedi in Rogue One as like just run down fucking
Yeah.
town, in the High Republic era, that place was popping with a bunch of different Force sects and a bunch of different Force people. So
Yeah.
there is stuff for that, which is why
But
the Acolyte's my number 2.
okay.
Yeah, I love the Acolyte. I think it's a great um, entry into a different side of Star Wars that
Yes.
isn't the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
Leads into the Skywalker saga, obviously, right? But we're 100 years before, so we have so much storytelling for the High Republic era, and I think the High Republic era specifically has some of the best Star Wars stories. Period. Like this is like a list of like all the Star Wars stories.
Yeah.
Guarantee you, a lot of like the
Yeah.
High Republic stuff would be above a lot of the stuff in the Skywalker
I
saga, just because it's just more interesting, more dynamic.
yeah.
It's different looks at the Force, different looks at villains, different looks at how we got to the prequel era. I think the Acolyte's a good bridge in between those two. So we have like the end of the Jedi at like their peak, where we're kind of like on the decline, and we can see why. They're too embedded with the Republic. They're too much like cops. They're too
Mm,
much of thinking that like their rule says everything, but then we see through it, it's just all about fucking perspective, which is like the
yeah.
biggest thing Star Wars has to offer. And the way that it's done, the way that we see
It's
the back and
so
forth, we're like, oh yeah, Master Soul, of course that's what he thought. That's because that's what he saw. From his
yeah.
perspective, he was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the biggest thing. Like, yes, the Jedi fucked up, but everyone in that storyline is valid from their perspective
Yeah.
because we see the story coming from their perspective
Yeah.
in a time much different than what we have now. Dope lightsaber fights, dope romance, the only like lovers, not even enemies to lovers. I wouldn't even classify them as enemies to
No.
lovers. Wouldn't even classify them as that. He saw her more than anybody else in that show did. Can't blame her. I don't mind the Plagueis stuff. I think I'm more upset that we had the opportunity to do so much more, and we don't get
I
it
didn't.
because of racism and homophobia and people like Star Wars theory and all that stuff. But I think the Acolyte, even like when I reviewed the first 4 episodes and I like was sitting on them for like a month, I thought that this was gonna like reunite the franchise. Like people were gonna watch this and fucking
And
love it.
especially after seeing her panel and seeing how she was talking about it and then seeing like the teaser of it,
Hmm.
it was really exciting.
Yeah, it was really exciting. Like the
Very
little teaser that we got
exciting.
at Celebration
Es-
was dope.
Especially because it's like, I don't want to say true fans. I don't want to say that. But these are like the fans who consume, like,
Yes, she's a Star
really.
Wars
She
fan.
is a, like, she's just up there with,
She's just like us.
yeah,
She's just like us. And I think that's a big difference between someone like Ryan Johnson,
yeah.
someone like y'all gonna hate me for this, but like Tony Gilroy, who was like the most exciting thing that I saw him in an interview. And he's like, oh, like what else stuff would you like? He's like, oh, I think it would be amazing if Edie, Cyril's mom, meets Luthen in the antique shop. When asked about like what other stuff do you want to like do, and I
Oh
was like,
my god, dude.
what? Like, what are
Dude.
we doing? That's what you want. That's what you want to put on screen. That's the thing you're
Ah,
excited about.
no, but
Ah,
you could
God.
see the passion and
Yeah, you can see the passion. It was Leslie Headland cast the people who she
yeah,
wanted for it, and they murdered it. I thought they murdered
they
it.
did such a great
I
job,
thought they did
dude.
such a great
And
job.
especially because like me as like only seeing the covers and only being at panels and listening to the panels, I've still have yet to read the books. Um, but even from the context that you've given me, I think Acolyte was so good, and I was really excited that they were doing a show because for someone who doesn't want to read all that much or doesn't have that much time to read and has time to watch or consume media like that visually,
Mm,
it was really nice to see the Acolyte. You
yeah.
know, and especially even like the snippet that we got of that era of that time in the video game of
Hmm. Hmm.
referencing
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
that timeline. It was really nice to see that we got a show out of it. It's just really good. The music's good,
Oh,
the
this was so
acting's
good.
good, the story's good, the perspective of from a perspective point of view, and we have books. We have books from a perspective. So like, why wouldn't this not be good?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is, you have to see it from their perspective. Like, were they doing the right thing to
Yeah.
them? Yeah. And even in life, I see it that way, and I think Acolyte does a really good representation of that. Of like, sometimes you have to see it from their perspective and
Yeah.
understand, and have good intentions, and be understanding of those things. And
Yeah, and I think empathy is like a big part of that thing. Like if you can put yourself in the character's
yeah,
shoes, you can understand why they do everything they do.
yeah,
May switching up on
yeah,
Homeboy, of course, dude. Like the whole reason why she was doing what she thought she was right was because she thought her whole family was dead.
yeah,
Of course, her sister being alive would change that.
yeah,
Why wouldn't it change that?
yeah.
Why wouldn't you like
If
at least wanna have a conversation with her? Because one of the big things is like,
yes,
oh, she switched up. First of all, Anakin goes from like being the chosen one to choking his wife within one movie. So like, I don't want to hear about like big shifts on and anything. And it's pretty. All she wanted to do is have a conversation. She just wanted to have a
yeah,
conversation. And
I
of
think
course, OSHA would also be pissed that she's been lied to by literally everyone except for Chimera
yeah.
for her entire life.
Yeah, and I can definitely understand from his perspective,
Yeah.
Like if I grew up with my sisters and then everyone's dead, and then I find out that, Sabrina or Marisa or Isaiah is still alive,
Mhm.
you know, I'm going to want to have a conversation with them and be like, I've missed you. I've loved you. Where have you been? Like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You know?
Warrants a conversation at the very least. And
Yes.
why did you go like snitch on the Jedi? Like,
And
does she trust the Jedi right now? There's
nah.
yeah, I don't know. I think that a lot of it is um
I,
I don't know if it's like a weekly format. Like, would that have been a better show for people to binge? I'm not sure. Um, but it's one of my favorite Star Wars stories because it is so bold in what it's
it
trying to
is.
do. I don't think you can point at another series that is as bold as this one because it's trying to do something different. Whereas things like the Book of Boba Fett, the
Yeah.
Mandalorian, even Andor are very like
Mm.
safe in their
They
stories.
are. They are.
Very safe.
When they're like, but our daughters, like when they're like super close and then you
Mm.
realize that they're like
Gay.
gay,
Yeah.
and one of them was carrying their child,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh shit,
Yeah.
oh shit,
Yeah.
and then you realize like, oh wait, so the whole thing with Anakin, it is possible. Where the fuck did Palpatine
Yeah.
learn about that?
Yeah, we could have gone
How did we figure
when we
that
talked about like the
out?
branches, right? Like this could have branched into so much stuff, especially because we have Vanessa Rowe
Yeah,
as like the kind of link to the past
yeah.
of like the original one. Like we meet her at 14 as a prodigy, and
Mhm,
now
mhm,
she's
mhm,
like
mhm.
114-year-old asshole who
What
is
happened?
responsible for like what happened? What
What
happened?
happened?
I guess we have like the Wayseeker book, but like the person who wrote that book didn't watch the Acolytes. I'm like,
Bias.
I don't know if I'm gonna like that book because I
Mm,
know that she didn't
yeah,
watch The Acolyte before she watched that. So like, what's the gap gonna be? I don't know.
we'll see.
We'll see. All right, what's your number one?
My number one, Rebels.
Yeah, I mean that's a good choice. Talk about it. What
I
about?
am talking
Yeah.
about it. Fuck! Ah! Hi, dude. Talk about fucking story, and being completely detached from like everything, right? And then you just get introduced through, to Ezra, and he's a little bit of a brat, and then you get his storyline, and then you get some Mandalorian, and then you get, you know, like you get the politics, you get literally everything, like everything that I love of the movies, the live action, um, even in Clone Wars, and
Mhm.
it just does such a good job of just giving it to you during that time. And it makes you really sad. I mean, obviously, I know that we were poor as fuck, but it makes me really sad that my parents couldn't pay for cable, so I couldn't watch Rebels when it was coming out. When it was coming out, because then it would have been a different situation.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
and
I
the
think
love story, I think it's probably one of my
oh god.
best love
Yeah.
stories ever, dude,
Yeah.
ever.
That one really shows that yeah, the
Oh,
Jedi can love, and it's not an issue.
yes, dude.
Not an issue. It's not an issue at all if the Jedi is good intentions and light in his heart. That's all that
Yeah.
matters. He's not gonna
And
turn to
they
the
fucked.
they did. Before you even kiss on camera, they were fucking.
What the fuck? That's how much they're like, and she's pregnant. I was like, hey,
Hey,
whoa,
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 whoa.
whoa, whoa.
This is a kid's show.
When was this happening? Yeah, it's so good. And I think that series does that one has an impact on me. Like
Yeah.
that one really does have an impact on me of like I remember it, I would rewatch it. It's just good story. And it's not a kid show. And I feel like all these animations and people thinking that anime is or animation or even anime is just for kids. It's
Yeah.
really not. Star Wars has always been the only.
This main story is literally the
Wait,
liberation of a planet.
did I even put the kids one?
Which one? Young Jedi Adventures?
Yeah, did I even say that?
I don't think so. Where'd you have it?
I think I had it on here.
But and to like, why
Oh
you look
yeah,
at
14.
yeah.
But
like to your point, like it's the
just
story
good.
is literally the liberation of Lothal. All this stuff we're getting with
Yeah.
Gorman, you get that in Rebels
Really?
years ago. You even get Mon Mothma, a second version of like the other version of Mon Mothma's
Yeah.
speech about the Gorman massacre. There, when all the ships come in, like this, that is the formation of the
Man.
rebellion to me in my eyes.
And you really get to see a lot of character growth.
Yeah.
A lot of character
And
growth
aliens.
and aliens, and you get to see the whales, which we do see a little bit of
Yeah,
it
the
in
Purrgil.
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what's up with these fucking whales? And it's like, actually, and this is why I like the Mandalorian as well. As like when someone says that they've never really watched Star Wars, I'm like, stop,
Safety check.
safety check. Don't watch the movies. For me, I'm like, don't watch the movies. Watch the Mandalorian because it gives you like snippets,
Yeah.
right? And if you want to watch the movies, go for it. But also, I'm biased because I think their shows are so much better. The books are so much better. The comics are so much better than just the movies. And if you just want to watch a movie, then obviously The Force Awakens is like a great and Rogue One.
Yeah.
If you want different timelines, but yeah, Rebels just does such a good job and breaks my heart every time, as you can tell, as me almost crying just thinking about them. It's just like I love their love.
Yeah, then you have Sabine, and you have like this like very like platonic relationship with him and Sabine.
It's very like
brotherly,
yeah.
sister, Sabine, with a dark saber. Like you just have so much great Star Wars story within that, and you never see any of the Skywalkers.
Yeah, you have no idea.
No idea. No one.
No idea.
No one.
And you
knows.
get to get more context of like the Mandalorian
And Ahsoka.
Ahsoka
older.
Ahsoka older, yeah.
Without the Jedi, just trying to like live her life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love Rebels. Yeah, I mean it's I love the Bad Batch more because I think it's more serious in like the overall tone. Like those 3 seasons, I think are better than like the majority. Like the 4th season, I think the second through 4th season of Rebels are like the best. But every season of like the Bad Batch is good to me in my eyes. So I think like that's why I might hold it a little bit higher. But I mean, I haven't met 3 and 4. Like they're fucking great. They're great.
Rebels is just so good, dude.
Yeah,
it's up there, like like it's just like the Last Airbender, man. Everyone knows the Last Airbender is really good. Everyone knows that Attack on Titan is a really good fucking anime. I don't know about 3 and 3 because the ending kind of fell off.
Yeah.
But everyone knows like those are really good series, and I feel like almost every Star Wars fan that has watched Rebels agrees that Rebels is just really good.
If they can appreciate animation as a storytelling medium.
Yes.
So I think the big thing right now that I'm seeing, especially even like in my conversations like online, is that Rebels isn't as good because it's kind of cartoony. But again, these motherfuckers are liberating. Like, did you watch the finale where Thrawn is literally bombing the city? People are dying. Dude, more than the Gorman massacre. Worse than the Gorman massacre. Yeah. He's bombarding the planet from orbit.
Maybe like 300 people.
Like, come on, man. Like, we've been doing this.
Yeah,
we've been doing this.
So that's why like Ahsoka is really fun because like I love Rebels so much. So then when you see Ahsoka and you get that attachment
and
to
you love the Clone Wars.
And I love the Clone Wars. So that's why Ahsoka isn't at the top, because I know that if you have more context then you have more appreciation. But I think Ahsoka is also a really good base point of like branching out to different things.
I think so.
But so is the Mandalorian. Mandalorian does it way better, and especially gives you more. It gives you, if you know nothing, but if you do know a lot and you read the comics and you read the books, then it gives you a lot.
Yeah, but I think that's why for my number one,
okay,
I have Visions.
I'm so shocked. Yeah, no.
Buddy, you're like moving all the cameras. Can you lay down?
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, go lay down. Go lay down.
Visions.
Visions.
I'm so surprised you have Visions at the top.
It's the most bold storytelling. Each episode is a reimagining of Star Wars with different cultures, with different genres, with different animation styles, and it's the best version of like playing in the sandbox that is Star Wars. When we look at like what is Star Wars, what did A New Hope bring? It brought the ability for anybody outside of George Lucas to tell a Star Wars story. And with Visions, we have that. It's creativity without the bounds of like canon and just having Star Wars story. It reminds us of like the mythology of Star Wars. It gives us. I know you don't like the second season, but I like the second season more because you have things like the episode like I Am Your Mother, where it's just an episode with like a mother and daughter.
Yeah.
You know, battling against some assholes like in a pod race. You have the cultural episodes where you have clear parallels to like what those cultures are pulling from. With like Screecher's Reach, which is a very pulls from Irish folklore and makes it Star Wars. And then even then you have one at the end of that, spoilers if you haven't seen Screecher's Reach in season 2, but she chooses like you think, oh, this whole time someone who's coming to save her is gonna be a Jedi, but it's not. It's a Sith. And when your life is so fucked up and when you have all of these things against you and you have a way out, and that way out is just happens to be the dark side, why wouldn't you take it? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you like take that and then go with it? And obviously we have season one. Season one has so many great things, and we're getting continuations of the duel, which looked fantastic, and like a little thing that we saw for Visions. We're getting the Village Bride, Elle, you know, one of our favorite.
But Elle's not the big character in my eyes. It's the Village Bride. It's the sacrifice that she has to make. God damn it! Am I gonna change my? I'm not gonna change my mind. But I
no, the Village Bride is great. Yeah,
no, I do understand like why you think Visions is up there. I get it now.
Yeah, it's Star Wars storytelling in like its most pure form, where anyone can tell a Star Wars story if you love it, if you understand where we're coming.
Ocho and Lop, dude.
Ocho and Lop, dude, one of like the best fucking episodes of like the whole.
Like, look, dude, that's fucking all. He don't know what he's doing anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. I just.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, then it's good enough for the Ninth Jedi to get a whole series after it, right? So it's good enough to keep going, and I hope that they keep doing it because I think it really shows. And I also of the mind that why we see Tales of the Underworld stepping up their animation quality is because we see Visions doing so good stuff with way less budget. So I think it pushes Star Wars animation and canon to be better because we have Visions doing such amazing things, telling such amazing stories that are good enough to continue on, to keep going. And we were there at Celebration in Tokyo. They had a whole ass pavilion for Visions. Like,
it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's a very valid form of Star Wars. And if I had to like pick something where I was like, I want to go enjoy Star Wars without being bound to like anything other than the fact that we're playing in the sandbox. When I'm thinking about me as a kid playing Star Wars Galaxies, I'm just playing in the sandbox. Literally, I'm just playing in the sandbox. I am living my character. I'm doing the things I want to do. I'm living a Star Wars story. And I think Visions is that kind of like.
No, it is. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I see your point because you're right. Visions it has no bounds for anybody.
Yeah.
It was just like, you're in Star Wars, like give me a
there's
story.
There's no the chosen one. He can't do that. You can't do that because it's literally just Star Wars story.
And when in episode 1 in the first season, they're like, "Oh, you're a Sith," and like, no, not really.
Yeah, subvert expectations immediately. You have no idea what these stories are going to. You have no idea what these stories are going to be like.
Or the old man.
The old man one,
story.
yeah. And then you just give the opportunity for other studios to tell things, like the Chilean studio that did the
The
water paint
painting,
episode.
yeah.
I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but like that's a beautiful
It
way of
is.
demonstrating Star Wars in a different
Mm.
medium, in a different like, yeah. So that's why I have it for my number
That
one.
makes sense because it does give you not long,
Hmm.
so
Easy
it's
to
easy to
watch.
watch. Different story every single time, so you can jump back and forth,
Hmm.
and you really do get different storytelling of all galaxies of Star Wars galaxy.
Yeah, I think the big thing for this too is that you allow for more, obviously, like for more people to tell stories, but like it's limitless. You can do this
Yeah.
forever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
keep giving studios a chance to tell like really good Star Wars stories, and
Yeah.
then we can see through the fact that some of them are getting picked up for multiple seasons, that if it's good enough, people will talk about it enough to get it a continuation, and then we just
I'll
have that other thing,
take my money.
and then we have
Take my
branches, and then
money.
we have branches, right? Because the manga, the comics, all of the things that
Yeah.
span off of these things are there for you to keep consuming.
Yeah.
So I think it's the most unbound and less homework of any story. Less homework. You have to do no homework. You just go in and watch Star Wars. And I think that's why I have it as like my number one. It's most ambitious, most bold, and you need to know nothing other than the Star Wars universe, which is the Star Wars universe. So
Yeah, I guess it does sum up like what is Star Wars.
yeah, because a lot of it doesn't. Some of it doesn't have lightsabers.
Yeah.
Some of it doesn't have the Empire. Some of it
Some
doesn't
of them
have.
have rock bands. That's
Oh, you don't like the Rock
dude.
Band
Come
episode?
on, it sucks, dude. I did not like that one.
Hey, look, man, someone's got to rock out, okay? Someone's got to
You
rock
know
out
how
for
I feel
Jabba.
about guitar solos.
All right, so yeah, I mean that's I think was the only one that we had a match was 20 for Attack of the Clones. It was the only one that you matched up on. Well, if that tells you like how this is gonna go, we have very different opinions on Star Wars.
Yeah, I would have thought that we would have been matching a lot just because, like,
we watched all of Star Wars together.
yeah, and you talked to me and tried to. Not that you tried to talk to me.
No,
No,
I
no,
never.
you've
Yeah,
never
never,
done that.
never.
But you're just such a great talker that I'm like,
Is he right?
write that down, write that down.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think for Star Wars, for me, it's a very. I think all my franchises are like very personal for me. I think that I love Star Wars so much that I'm never going to force it on someone, because if they don't like it, I take it as a personal attack. No, I'm just kidding. But I was like, okay, like you don't like it, you don't like it, and the reasons why you don't like it, I get it, I guess. But like, have you tried this? Like,
Yeah, I don't think
it's
I've
like
ever.
giving someone drugs, and you're like, okay, you didn't like that one, but I think you'll like this one.
That, and I think that's why I like Star Wars. Like, I know I love my dad, and I know he raised me to be a Trekkie, but it's because the thing is that there's just more Star Wars content.
Yeah,
There's something for anybody.
yeah. And
There's
no hate on
something.
Star Trek. We love Star Trek,
Yeah,
by the
I love
way.
Star Trek,
Like, yeah,
but it's just there is something for everyone.
yeah,
There really is. That's why I mean, if you want to raise your kids and get them started, that's why Young Jedi is really good
yeah,
because I like watching it
yeah.
just in
Young
the
Jedi is good.
background sometimes.
Yeah, and you also get Yoda,
You also get
and you get the High
Yoda,
Republic era.
and you get the High Republic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's
So
very good.
before the High Republic, you get the Young Jedi. So you watch that first, and then you read the books, and then I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think that's all of our things. I mean, if you want, I want to hear y'all's rankings.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you can DM us basically on anywhere, because we got This Is the Chisme on literally everything. So add us at This Is the Chisme, or send us a DM. Let us know what your top tier is. Send us death threats if you didn't like what we said, I guess. I'm going to be the one filtering them. And if you follow me on social media, you know that you can't hurt my feelings,
If you send me
because
death threats, send me your address.
send location.
Send your location. See if
Send
you're
your
about that
location.
life. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
So, just let us know what made into your top tier, and what would you exile to Mustafar? Who knows? I don't know. A little bit of wind down. Anything that surprised you during
I'm
our rankings?
actually really shocked that because you showed me your list
Mhm. I did not
ye-
see her. I did not see your list before this.
yesterday,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And I saw Visions as number one. I was like, what the fuck is this dude thinking? Because I we've been together
Yeah.
for
Almost 15 years.
15 years. Anyways, and I thought like I would know
What did you think? What do you think was
I thought you were gonna put Clone Wars up there.
No,
Because you reference Clone Wars quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I was really shocked by Visions by you.
Yeah. I guess I wasn't really shocked about your rankings because I know that you really don't like the old movies very much. You're very much like you need to be like engaged. And some of that's your ADHD, autism, I'm sure, but like a lot of it is like you got to be entertained, and if you're not entertained within like the first like 15 minutes of a movie, you're checking out. And I think the movies don't do a great job. At least the original trilogy, outside of like I think Empire Strikes Back, of like getting you into the story a little bit quicker. So
like I'd rather watch, Phantom of Paradise, the other Star Wars movie that came
we'll
out.
talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, that's definitely we'll definitely be an episode for Phantom of Paradise, and we're gonna talk about the way they use the F word in that.
I'm just curious if they were influenced. I just want to know if they were influenced by that character.
So everything we talk about, like, what do you want to rewatch, or what do you want to start that you haven't started yet?
Bro, I've watched all the shit.
Okay, what do you want to rewatch?
What do I want to rewatch? Probably Visions again.
Visions again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably give it another try. That second season at least.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch that episode with the music again though.
You can skip it.
It's engraved.
I think it's the best thing about Star Wars, man.
Engraved in my brain.
And I think
that's how much I did not like it.
I think I love that Star Wars is so big because if you don't like it, you don't got to watch it.
Yeah, I don't.
This universe is so much bigger than the 67 years of the Skywalker saga. You can like go watch any story. 67. It's only 67 years, and we've been here forever. There's so much other stuff, and we've been in the same 67. It's like imagine 67 years ago in U.S. history, and imagine if we only did 67 years of U.S. history.
Yeah, and this is why I don't fuck with the movies sometimes because I'm like, let's do other things. Let's do something else, dude. Yeah. Let's stop throwing tea in the fucking water, But yeah.
Oh, blah, blah.
Yeah, I guess when you put it in that perspective, yeah, let's do other things. There's definitely other things to do.
Yeah. Cool. What do you want to do for the rest of our episode? Any expectations? What do you want? What else do you want to cover? What can the people expect? You really just showing up?
I'm really just showing up.
Okay, what about next? You want to talk about the Dark Disciple next week?
Adrian said, all you have to do is show up. What if we did that? And I said, okay.
True. What do you want to talk about next week? You want to talk about the Dark Disciple next week?
Yeah, I think that would be a good breakdown, especially considering that we got
Tales
of the Underworld, and we got those 3 episodes. And now that I have finished the book, I have thoughts.
Have you seen all when was the last time you saw like the Clone Wars episodes? Have you seen the rewatch guide that I posted on butwhythough.net that tells you all the Star Wars stories you need to know for Ventress?
Look, I'm telling you right now, I am not on social media. Really, to be honest.
Well, we watched the episodes before, and then we'll have a little conversation about
we can have
Ventress.
That. But just expect me to be here and support as best as I can. And if you don't like my opinion, well, I'm probably not going to read your opinion because I'm not really on social media.
True. If you don't like her opinion, fight me. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I can fight you. That's fine. But like,
true.
If you're trying to get my attention, you're probably not going to get my attention because I just don't care that much.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But if I do like your opinion, then I'm like, hey, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just here.
This is Chisme. We're just here to talk shit for a lot and talk about.
And if it helps you get into Star Wars, then that's great. That's cool. I think if anything out of this, I do want to get is like convince other people to get into Star Wars.
Yeah, all of our friends.
And I think we do not that we're trying to manipulate anybody, but I think we do a really good job in like, if you don't get through them, I feel like I can get through them in a different way. Because there's something for everybody.
Yeah. I also don't try very hard. Like, if you don't like it, cool.
I think now you don't. I think when you were younger, you did.
Yeah. Well, I think that's just because Last Jedi was awful, and I just understand people like
you're like, please.
Please understand how this movie fucked up. It's 2 POC characters very much to prop up The white saviors.
Look, if you're not
No,
gonna
I'm just
give,
kidding. I'm not. No, I'm not kidding. But like,
if you're not gonna give me people of color, then at least give me more aliens.
true, please, more aliens in my Star Wars.
Give me alien representation. Aliens that is what
in
I am.
Aliens in my soap opera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I was like, Andor doesn't hit very hard for me. She's like, oh my god, this is so political. I was like, dude, I live political. Like my whole life is political. What do you mean? Like I live this every day. Like I don't need Star Wars to tell me these things. I really don't.
I am oppressed.
Yeah, I'm oppressed every day of my life.
Yeah, but also like, whatever. That'll be another episode. But yeah, I hope if you are a spouse, more than likely you're probably the husband or the dude in the relationship. Probably is what I see. I know.
I would say that, but like think about it, like all the times, like all the people we met at Star Wars Celebration in Tokyo, majority of those were girls, women.
Well, I'm only saying like people who can't go to Star Wars Celebration. I'm saying for those people, especially because I work, where I am an engineer, mostly I'm working with a bunch of men who end up dating people who aren't into nerdy stuff or into Star Wars. And if this is a segue or a path for them to get their partner to get into Star Wars, then maybe this is it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too.
I just hope that I can help with that aspect as well, because it makes me sad. It makes me really sad when I go to these conventions and their partner's not with them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we did see a lot of dudes who were there by themselves. Yeah,
really sad because I'm just like, you can't try just a little bit. You can't just come to Japan on a trip
to go do Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, like come on. Yeah. So if I can help in that aspect, cool.
That's good. I mean, I just want to talk about lore stuff. I think the big reason why I started doing social media stuff was so I can explain Star Wars to you.
Yes, you should.
So this is a way that I can just like talk Star Wars with you.
Without. I think when you talk to me like this in like gossipy and like, well, it helps me like want to know more.
Yeah, this is the Chisme.
Yeah. Also, Adrian had to explain why the podcast is called This Is the Chisme. I was like, I don't understand this.
She also did design the logo.
Yeah, hire me if you like the logo. I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, I think that's it. We're gonna go watch Andor, or at least a couple episodes of Andor,
and then eat some Taco Bell or something.
Okay. Well, thanks for sipping with us. New Chisme.
Yeah.
Every week. Talk to you guys later.
Oh.
Are you out?
No.
Clink.